Hello and welcome back to another weather video. Today we are going to be continuing our coverage on Winter Storm Orlena and the major snowstorm that will be occurring from areas of the central United States and then a potential blockbuster nor'easter. Stay tuned for that, but if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Now let's get right on into it. So I'm on the National Weather Service page, just quick check-in on what our alerts are. We still have winter storm warnings in California. They could still see another foot in certain areas with that snowfall, but that snow is going to wind down today, going to move into areas of Nevada, the Four Corners states, even into Montana and Idaho with that northern part. But then we start to look toward the major winter storm kind of coming into the central plains, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast, and wreaking havoc. So let's jump right on into that. So let's take the NAM 12-kilometer model frame by frame here. So low pressure in California, that will be continuing to move east very slowly. You can see that the snow continues throughout most of the west until about later on today. Things get a little bit more isolated, but still some snow showers across most of the Rocky states. Then we see this low pressure move out into the plains, and throughout the day on Saturday, we see this move into the plains, pull up some Gulf moisture when it shifts to the south. You can see that it started up here in South Dakota, now it's down here in Oklahoma. That's when it starts to pull on the Gulf moisture and strengthen. 995 millibars, pretty strong. So it moves in, collides with that cold air. Now, most of this section is moderate to heavy snowfall. Then you also have this lighter snow that this storm is kind of drawing from another system. Now, this storm continues to develop pretty quickly and kind of goes through its life cycle in about one day. It starts off, then you get more occlusion, and now this is early Sunday, and you already have a weakening low that's about to die off. So we start to see the back end of this completely fall apart. Now our focus is on the Northeast. Plenty of freezing rain to go around, plenty of snow, especially we see DC really tap into some of the snowfall at this point. Now we continue on, still seeing moderate to heavy snow in DC. Now we start to see that it's going to push into areas like Philadelphia, even into New York. Now, Monday or Sunday, very late night, or Monday very early morning, this low pressure shifts. This low pressure here in Ohio dies. Now it's off the coast of North Carolina. It's going to move right up the coast. This is the nor'easter part. Now, the NAM is barely loading this in. We don't have that much information, so we're going to take this low pressure here. It's right at about the entrance of the Chesapeake Bay, pretty far out, and we're going to compare this to other models. So let's look at the GFS first. Okay, so the GFS has this in a very similar position, and the GFS actually has most of the heavy snow occurring in parts of Pennsylvania and New Jersey, then skipping over parts of southeastern New York and Connecticut, and bringing more heavy snow into eastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and then eventually up into Maine. So I think that the GFS is kind of selling some areas of southern New England and New York City metro area short. I think that it's showing plenty of snow there, actually very similar amounts to the Boston area, so the GFS has been a little weird with snow totals, but that spins out of the region. Now, this is what I'm talking about here. We're selling the Northeast, some areas of the Northeast, a little short. You can see that it kind of just, you have all of this heavy snowfall. It skips areas of southern New York and Connecticut, and then just goes right into areas of eastern Connecticut, Rhode Island, eastern Massachusetts, and then up into Maine. So it has the target for the storm system from southeast Pennsylvania up through into Long Island. So let's compare this to the European model. The European model has this being much more major. So the European model has this storm system a little bit closer to the coast than the NAM does right now, and it eventually has this kind of retrograding a little bit toward the coast, bringing some of that heavy snowfall into areas such as Philadelphia and New York. Then it kind of stalls out a little bit, and that's where you get most of your heavy snowfall in areas of New Jersey. Then you get this storm system starting to push back to the north. That's where areas such as Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, even New Hampshire and Maine get their heavy snowfall, and then this storm eventually moves out. With the European model, we have a pretty decent amount of snow here. It has a large swath of 6 to 12 inches and even 12 plus inches from North Carolina through DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia probably being one of the targets of the storm, New York getting a pretty decent amount, probably 10 to 12 inches, through Connecticut, Rhode Island, Boston probably getting the most at 17 to 19 inches, and you see that Maine gets a little bit too. I think the target here is going to be right along the tri-point of Maryland, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. You guys could see up to 22 inches of snow. Now, about this storm, this will be heavy wet snow. Unless you live very interior, I think there's going to be very little areas that see any powdery snow. This will be the wet, heavy snow, plenty of wind like most nor'easters do. My nor'easter deep dive is in the cards, and that is going to cause a lot of tree damage. So, side roads, remote areas in the Northeast, not going to be in the best situation. Even the main roads, highways, we're going to be seeing this storm dump a lot of its snowfall in very short bursts. Even though this storm system is going to last for a long time in the Northeast, maybe up to 36 hours, most of the heavy snowfall comes within 6 hours. Generally for most of the Northeast. Probably the only exclusion would be areas of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, so areas Philadelphia and south, so Philadelphia, Baltimore, DC, because you guys will be getting some of the snow while the low pressure is still in Ohio, kind of having that eastern side. Then the storm kind of shifts around you to that nor'easter. So that's probably the exception there. But this storm is getting really interesting. It's already becoming so fun to cover. What do you think is going to happen? Comments in the comment section down below. I want to hear what you guys think. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.